They watched her walk away, angrily, never imagining they would never see her again. Tiffany Valiante, having recently celebrated her graduation from Oakcrest High School, was on the cusp of a bright future, buoyed by a volleyball scholarship to Mercy College. Renowned for her remarkable skills on the volleyball court, Tiffany was not just a star athlete, she was a beacon of energy and positivity. In the hallways of her high school, she was known for her infectious laugh and the ability to light up any room she entered, qualities that made her exceedingly popular among her peers. At home, her presence was even more impactful. As the youngest child in her family, Tiffany's spirited nature and boundless enthusiasm brought a unique vitality to the Valiante household. Her transition from a high school star to a college athlete was eagerly anticipated by everyone who knew her, marking the start of what was expected to be an illustrious athletic and academic career. The morning of July 12, 2015, was like any other day for the Valiante family. They lived in Mays Landing, a small remote community in Hamilton Township, New Jersey. Typically, life here was pretty uneventful, but by midnight that same day, the Valiante family had suffered a tragic event that would change their lives forever. When the Unsolved Mysteries episode about Tiffany's death aired, it got 16 million views and triggered online discussions on the facts of the case, as well as likely theories regarding what really happened. In fact, up to 6,000 people signed a petition requesting that the New Jersey Police Department reopen the case, which was closed at the time the episode was aired. But despite the public outcry and renewed investigations, Tiffany Valiante's death is officially closed, but unofficially, far from solved. What really happened on the night that Tiffany died? What were the facts and clues that determined the ruling of the New Jersey PD? What events or happenings before Tiffany's death could shed more light on the event? And is there a possibility that clues have been missed by the police? What caused a happy young lady to suddenly commit suicide? Or even more eerie, did the police get it all wrong by ruling a homicide a suicide? Let's dive into the curious case of Tiffany Valiante's unfortunate death. According to the police, Tiffany Valiante died around 11 p.m. on Sunday, July 12, 2015. Official records state that after leaving her home at about 9 p.m., Tiffany walked 5 miles through a dark forest and jumped in front of a New Jersey Transit Atlantic City Rail Line train. It is imperative to note that while doing this, Tiffany was nearly naked and barefoot, and must have been scared out of her mind because she had long been diagnosed with nyctophobia, which is a severe and extreme fear of darkness. Who was Tiffany Valiante? Tall at 6'3", and incredibly athletic, Tiffany Valiante was a volleyball prodigy. Noticed early for her prowess on the volleyball court, Tiffany easily got a volleyball scholarship to Mercy College in New York. On the surface, Tiffany appeared to have a great relationship with her parents. On closer inspection, however, some peculiarities showed things weren't all that smooth. Like most teenagers, Tiffany did occasionally get into some trouble at home, but never enough to cause the neighbors to notice. That was until the evening of July 12th, when Tiffany got into trouble at her cousin's graduation party. Tiffany's friend had accused her of stealing her credit card at the party and making purchases on it. This friend called Tiffany's mother. At first, Diane Valiante defended her daughter, but it didn't take long for Diane to change her tune. Tiffany did have a history of petty theft, and her parents had caught her stealing money from their bank account some time ago. Knowing this, Tiffany's mother decided to question Tiffany some more before approaching her car to search it. According to Diane, Tiffany quickly hid a credit card in her back pocket while they were searching the car. Diane caught this and the two began to argue. It was immediately after this argument that Mr. and Mrs. Valiante discovered their youngest daughter was missing. They searched immediately and found nothing until a day later when they were informed their daughter's body was found on the rail track. The Valiantes were distraught, but were willing to push away the pain to find out what had really happened. The Valiantes were informed that their daughter had been hit by a train, an apparent suicide, according to the police. The Valiantes immediately refuted the claim. But after a few days of communication with the New Jersey Police Department, Tiffany Valiante's parents agreed to the ruling so the case could be closed. But why were the police so quick to determine that Tiffany had taken her own life? One has to first consider the testimony from the only eyewitness, an employee on the train who had pulled the emergency brakes after the train ran into Tiffany. According to him, Tiffany had leaped out of the bushes into the path of the incoming train. This testimony appeared consistent with the aftermath presented, even if a remarkably unusual method. Secondly, investigations into Tiffany Valiante's life reveal that things weren't as smooth as they looked from the outside. A teacher in Tiffany's high school had observed injuries on Tiffany that were inconsistent with the ones she would usually get playing volleyball. Suspecting domestic abuse, the teacher informed the authorities, and Tiffany's mother admitted to once hitting Tiffany on her arm during an argument. In fact, Child Protective Services visited the Valiante home 3 times before Tiffany's death. The third issue is one rarely spoken of. In fact, Netflix completely missed it in their Unsolved Mysteries series, which was the first show to bring Tiffany Valiante's case to public view. Tiffany Valiante was gay. When she was 17, Tiffany came out as gay, a development her parents had seen as temporary and whimsical, even if they did do their best to be supportive. Tiffany was in her second relationship with a woman she met online at the time of her death. There were also unconfirmed reports of interactions with Tiffany and other young ladies at school. Was Tiffany experiencing backlash no one was aware of? With these facts, the police consider Tiffany Valiante's death an open and shut case with little need for further investigation, but is it? Although the train engineer did admit to seeing Tiffany leaping in front of the oncoming train, this was the first of 3 varying statements. Another statement had this engineer testifying that Tiffany came out of nowhere, stating that he didn't even see her jump. The third statement has him revealing that he saw her stooped in the bushes several feet away before leaping onto the tracks. These 3 contradictory statements cast doubt on the truthfulness of this witness, and makes us wonder if he saw anything at all. And with regard to Tiffany's issues with her mom, teenagers get into fights with their parents all the time. Rebelling against custom and making one's own path is only a part of the growth from adolescence into adulthood. Fights like this are typically far from enough to make a happy young lady take her own life. It is easy for one to read into the circumstances around Tiffany's sexuality. However, there are no signs of rejection or conflict from her parents on the issue, and it seems like a stretch to assume this was related. Taking account of other clues found in the case, one starts to realize that on the matter of Tiffany Valiante's death, there might be more than meets the eye. During the initial search for Tiffany, Tiffany's dad found her phone in the bushes by their driveway. Tiffany was said to have a very strong attachment to her phone, and had even gotten a special cover to be able to take it into the shower. Seeing her phone, Mr. Valiante became increasingly worried, because he knew Tiffany wouldn't willingly go anywhere without it. One also has to consider the state of Tiffany's clothes. During one of her walks in the days following Tiffany's death, Tiffany's mom, Diane, found Tiffany's clothes, as well as her shoes, neatly arranged on the path, as if someone had put them there. And according to the coroner's report, the soles of Tiffany's feet were smooth, without bruises, lacerations, or markings that a barefoot walk through the woods would have produced. This was inconsistent with the suggestion that Tiffany had walked through the woods barefoot. If she hadn't walked, does this mean she had been carried? And by whom? As additional clues surfaced, the Valiantes realized they were wrong to have accepted the police's suicide ruling. They believed instead that a killer was loose in Mays Landing. Tiffany's family remains determined to uncover the truth. They have repeatedly requested the police to revisit the investigation, yet the New Jersey Police Department has hesitated, citing the need for new evidence before reopening the case. Undeterred by this challenge, the Valiante family has not only persevered in their quest for justice, but also progressively raised the reward for any information leading to the resolution of the case. The reward now totals $40,000, reflecting their unwavering commitment to finding answers. The handling of Tiffany Valiante's case highlights significant shortcomings in police procedures. It's conceivable that the case might have seen a more thorough investigation under the jurisdiction of the May Landing Police Department. However, since Tiffany's tragic end occurred on rail tracks, considered federal territory, the New Jersey Transit Police took the lead. This unit, as implied by its designation, typically deals with incidents occurring within the rail system, which may not extend to the complexities of a homicide investigation like Tiffany's. This specialization likely contributed to an oversight in processing critical evidence specific to her case. Moreover, the crime scene's inadequate isolation raises concerns about the potential compromise of evidence, hindering the quest for justice. Additionally, an axe bearing red marks was discovered in the woods close to where the incident occurred. This axe was given to the transit police, who subsequently misplaced it before any forensic testing could be conducted. The question arises, were the red markings on the axe blood? If so, To whom did it belong? Other pertinent evidence, including Tiffany's clothing and shoes, had been subjected to improper storage, rendering them unfit for later forensic evaluation. These items were negligently stored in a plastic bag that was not securely sealed, leading to mold contamination and effectively destroying any potential for laboratory examination. Ultimately, Tiffany Valiante's case evokes a profound sense of dismay. One can't help but wonder if a different approach might have led to a different conclusion. Is it possible that there's an overlooked aspect to the tragic circumstances of Tiffany's demise? The question of whether the Valiante family will ever achieve closure remains open. Tiffany's untimely departure raises numerous unanswered questions, with the most pressing being how to prevent other families from enduring such a devastating loss. What measures can be implemented to safeguard families from facing such traumatic experiences? Now, we want to hear from you. What do you think happened? Click the link above to learn about the horrific murder of a family taken at the hands of a child in The Deadly Retreat. Stay curious, stay connected, stay with Reely Unreal.